Hello there, it's Critic AL, and I'm going to have a look at the Skeleton Crew trailer, because this can't possibly be worse than the Acolyte, can it? Time will tell. I'm going to play a little bit at a time, give my thoughts, we'll go through the whole thing. Is this going to be saving Star Wars, or is this just more of the same? Let's find out.
Tomorrow's test.
Okay, so this isn't a promising start. Obviously, first of all, we start off with this. This is obviously our protagonist. This, I can't tell if it's a boy or a girl. I think it's a boy. Looking at spaceship mobiles on the ceiling, all very crude, made out of wood, very cheap looking. But then we instantly go into this futuristic kind of world. So, are we saying that this child's impoverished, maybe, sort of disadvantaged, maybe doesn't have the privilege that others might have? Other than that, we've got what looks like a horrifically suburban America setting. This isn't Star Wars. What the hell's going on? You've got pavements, you've got street signs, you've got lampposts, normal looking buildings. This looks like it might be Earth, not a galaxy far, far away. Here's this bullshit. They're all on a school bus by looks of things. Not promising. Not promising at all. Right, let's just carry on.
Will set the course of your entire future.
Okay, it's a little boy.
Don't you ever want to do anything exciting? Like what?
Acting lessons?
What if we could go anywhere we...
Oh my word. So we've got, I can't remember what the race is, but we've got this guy from the Mos Eisley Cantina walking a dog. More suburban America. I mean, none of this looks like Star Wars. I mean, what this looks like is Guardians of the Galaxy 3. But at least that was blatantly Earth, just with animal creatures. They weren't trying to make it, part of another IP or anything. I mean, look at this. Just lampposts, curbs, tram tracks. There is nothing Star Wars looking like about this at all. The Acolyte looked more like Star Wars than this did.
Want in the whole galaxy. A real adventure. No more pretend.
So it's an impoverished kid that's got wooden models on his ceiling, but he's got a tablet. Again, this doesn't look anything like Star Wars. This is just an angle lamp, a desk. It all looks totally normal.
I found something buried in the woods.
Imagination.
What do you think it is?
Looks very Spielberg, doesn't it? Very Spielberg, very Amblin. Very Goonies, dare I say. Which I'm pretty sure is what this is going to turn out to be.
I think it's a lost Jedi temple.
Okay, so this is set shortly after Return of the Jedi. So this is set in the New Republic eras. And between Return of the Jedi and Force Awakens, obviously where the New Republic fails and the First Order takes over, not that those films actually existed, I think we're at like 30 years. So we're saying that in that period, these kids would know what a Jedi Temple is, even though Luke had no idea what the Jedi were. Now, let's just say that Luke has started re-establishing the Jedi Order, which obviously we know he ultimately fails at. How are these kids going to know what a Jedi Temple is? There's one Jedi. Well, there's more. We know that. We know, like, Ahsoka's out there and definitely just not doing anything for some reason. Now, let's just carry on.
Be careful where you step.
Good Lord, it really is the Goonies, isn't it? Hey, there's One-Eyed Willy. How is this child able to pilot a ship into hyperspace? I don't see any droid there. The kid's doing it. Or at least this looks like Star Wars. That's quite a nice shot, actually. I'll give them props there. Love spaceships. Spaceships are a big part of Star Wars, and they should be in it. Let's see various bits and pieces here. That's cool. That's like the best shot of the entire series so far.
Lost. Really lost.
Merchandisable.
'Tis dangerous out there in space.
Please tell me what that accent was.
Trust no one.
Why are these 3 or 4 kids on a spaceship firing guns and... Oh, I just don't. Oh, man. I mean, I know this isn't for me. I don't know who Star Wars is for anymore. Presumably this is for kids. But when I was a kid, and bear in mind I was like 6 or 7, I didn't give a crap if there was kids in it. I was like, Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, yeah, that's what I want to be in the future. That's, these brave heroes sacrificing all. They weren't kids, because kids would have been fucking stupid in Star Wars. As the Phantom Menace proved.
You're a Jedi.
Well, Jude Law at the end there, so we're going to have somebody who can act. I'm sorry, the kids can't act. They're awful. Most child actors are terrible. Jake Lloyd proved that in The Phantom Menace. Whatever the kids were names, played the twins in The Acolyte, they were abysmal. Most kids can't act. That's why they end up in TV, and that's why they end up in commercials. They don't end up in great big films because they can't fucking act. So you let them develop their skills, and you do get a few child actors that are okay. They're quite good. Some are quite, really, really quite good. But the vast majority of them are terrible because they're children. They haven't learned their craft yet. That shows in this. The back half of this trailer at least looked like Star Wars. The front bit, loaded with American suburbia and everything. What the hell? I mean, The Acolyte was garbage, but it looked like Star Wars. I have to give it that. It looked like Star Wars. It had the run-down elements. Obviously, the Jedi bit was a bit more futuristic. This is all over the place. You've got a kid who's got wooden homemade spaceships on his ceiling, going to school, but he's got a tablet. And, I don't mind the tablet having the Jedi on it. I can understand that people might have heard of a Jedi was responsible for killing the Emperor and bringing down the Empire along with the rebellion and everything like that. But they're not going to know what Jedi temples is. And... oh, man. We need to see more. And I understand that it's not made for me. This is clearly the Goonies made for kids. But it looks like... this just doesn't look any better. Is it going to be better than The Acolyte? I can't imagine that anything would be worse written than The Acolyte. And less preachy, messagey and power of many than The Acolyte. Possibly. But that American suburbia look really has me concerned. That just doesn't look like Star Wars at all. It looks like we needed a lower budget, so we've just filmed in normal places and dressed it up a tiny bit. We'll see. Am I even going to bother watching it? I don't know. I'm kind of over Star Wars. I'm just doing this as a reaction. But, let me know what you think down below, guys. You might think this is great. You might think this looks awesome. For me, it was just that one shot of the spaceship kind of junkyard type thing. Looks cool. Quite how you have... I couldn't tell if it was 3 or 4 kids. I think it's 4 kids in total. So they meet up with another one maybe. Running around, completely scot-free, flying ships and shooting turrets and lasers and stuff. No idea. As I say, when I was a kid, and we are talking like 6 or 7 years old, I looked up to my heroes like Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, and even Princess Leia, who were adults, young adults to be sure, but adults. I think Luke's like 19. Yeah, he's about 19, I think, in that. Maybe 20. And they were my heroes. I didn't need to see kids. I didn't need to see kids at all in my shows. There were children's TV shows, things like Children's Ward, Bikers Grove, all that kind of stuff that focused on schools so that kids, so you could relate to them in a different way. But I never needed it in Star Wars. I never needed kids in Star Wars. It just wasn't required. It wasn't required at all. Still, let me know what you think. And I'll be back with another movie review soon, probably Romulus. I'm also working on some Star Trek content in the meantime, because there's some interesting news coming out of the Star Trek camp. So I will catch you guys later. Bye.